What's up, rock stars, and welcome back to my channel. Today's video we are going to be doing swatches, both finger and brush swatches, a demo on how the shadows work on the eyes, and full review of the Jaclyn Hill Morphe collaboration palette. This palette sold out in 45 minutes, so it's not currently available right now, but there is going to be a restock. So I still wanted to do this review video for you, just so that if you were one of those people that unfortunately were not able to get the palette the first time around, you have a true honest review from an actual consumer. I bought this palette with my own money. Morphe has no idea who I am. Jaclyn Hill has no idea who I am. I used my hard-earned dollars to get this palette. So this is 110% what I think of the palette. I've tried Morphe brushes in the past, and I have not liked the brushes that I've tried from them, and I have not liked the eyeshadow palettes that I've tried from them. I didn't order any brushes. I did order this sponge and then the contour sponge that you see Jaclyn Hill using all of the time. I have to say, on my first impression, because this was the first time I used the I was going to call it a beauty blender, but this beauty sponge on my face today for the very first time. I'm not impressed with this at all. I don't like it. It does really well at picking up powder for baking, but that's about it. I did not like this to apply foundation or concealer at all. So anyways, side note over. So I was on the website at exactly 10 a.m. when the palette launched, 10 a.m. Central Time. And when I first was on the site, it was not available. Like, I had to go and search in the Morphe search box to get the palette, and I was able to find it. So I put the palette in my cart and I went to check out, and you have to wait in line when you check out on Morphe's website because they don't have a strong enough server to handle a multitude of orders like the ones that were going to come in when the Jaclyn palette launched. I totally understand that. I get it. This is something that's going to create much more traffic to your site than normal. But while I was waiting in line, I got kicked out of line 3 times and had to start over with the whole process. My best friend in the whole world, she also got the palette for herself. She was one of the people that was lucky enough to get it within the first 45 minutes as well. We both got our email confirmations on that Saturday saying, hey, your palette is being shipped out. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 3 days. Not bad at all. She had her palette the next, I think it was Tuesday, so less than a week. I just got mine today. Today is July 3rd. I feel like I'm the last person that ordered this palette that actually got the palette, which was really disappointing because I wanted to get this review up for you as soon as possible because there is going to be a restock. I don't know the exact date of the restock, but it is supposed to come sometime this month. So still in July. I will let you know once I know what that date is in the description box down below. So to get into the actual palette itself, my first complaint, and probably my biggest complaint in terms of packaging, is the fact that the placard that you were seeing all of the YouTubers that got this package as PR did not come in the actual palettes. So I have no idea what any of the shade names actually are. Is the palette still on Morphe's website? Can I go to Morphe's website and check the shade names? Yes. Can I watch a review from a YouTuber that got the palette in PR and get the shade names from their placard? Yes, but if you put that effort into the PR package, you should have put that effort into the standard package as well. I'm not saying that as a standard consumer I need the big fancy box with the LED screen or anything like that, but I should have the placard with the shade names because Jaclyn took the time to create a name for each individual shade. In terms of packaging, with it being cardboard versus plastic, with it being white and silver versus the standard black that you see so many palettes being made with, the fact that there's no mirror, I'm okay with the fact that there's not a mirror because adding a mirror would have driven up production costs for this palette, which means it could have become more expensive than the $38 that this palette retails for. In terms of it being white and silver, I'm also okay with that because I am the type of person that I wipe down my palettes and my compacts and everything that I use on a semi-regular to fairly regular basis, so my palette will probably never get super dirty, but I do understand the concern there. Is it the end of the world? Should you not buy this palette because of that? Absolutely not. In terms of the actual shadows themselves, I agree 100%. This formulation, or these formulations I should say, because each shadow was formulated differently, is 110% different from the formulation of the other Morphe shadows I have tried in the past, and these are definitely a better quality. The swatches are not the greatest for a couple of reasons. Reason number one, I know that some of them are out of focus. I apologize. And reason number two, in terms of the actual swatches that you're seeing me do, they're not all 100%. Some of them need a lot of work. Some of them, the finger swatch is beautiful and the brush swatch sucks. Some of them, the finger swatch sucks, but the brush swatch is beautiful. I am never the type of person that will quote-unquote discriminate against a palette because of a swatch. Because these go on the eye 110% different than you're seeing them swatched right now. Some of them are super amazing. Some of them could probably use a little bit more work in terms of the shimmers. Some of them I do feel like need some Fix Plus. It's not the end of the world. I just like my shimmers to be extremely intense. If I'm going to wear a shimmer, you best believe I want you to be able to see the shimmer from Pluto. So a little Fix Plus is totally fine in terms of the shimmers. The way the shadows apply to the eye is what really truly matters to me as a consumer, because that's where you're going to see them. The application of the shadows you'll see in just a moment. They are beautiful. Nothing was too chalky, nothing was overly pigmented with the exception of the black, but I am experienced enough to be able to work with the black. It's totally fine. Somebody just starting out in makeup, I would say, might want to go with a less pigmented black to start, but they were beautiful. Everything blended wonderfully together. I tried to use as many shades on my eyes as I could, just so you could see, a bunch of different shades. So each clip is a different shade being used. So when I change the eye that I'm working on, that is a different color. I wish I had the shade names so I could show you when I'm changing colors, but unfortunately I don't. I was really impressed with the way everything blended on the eye. Like I said before, the look came out beautifully. The only issue that I have in terms of the actual shadows on the eyes is creasing. I do have a little bit of a hood on my eyelid, and I do also have very oily skin all around. Even my eyelids are oily. So creasing is definitely something that I look at in terms of my eyeshadows. I do have some more expensive eyeshadow palettes that do not cause creasing. I use the exact same primer today that I always use on my eyes all of the time. And these shadows crease about 4.5, 5 hours in, which if you don't wear your makeup for that long isn't the end of the world. But I'm somebody that wears my makeup for extremely long periods of time. So to have creasing start that early was really disappointing. Is it the end all be all? Do I wish I wouldn't have bought the palette because of the creasing? No, because again, it did have a very good price point. I feel like $38 for 35 shadows is amazing no matter what the brand is, because that's just over $1 per shadow. Because I only paid $38 for it, I'm not going to never use the palette again. I just now know to use this palette on days where I'm not going to be wearing makeup for that long. If I didn't get the palette in the first round, would I get it during the restock? I would definitely try, but it wouldn't be the end of the world if I didn't have it either. That's it for me. I don't think I have anything else to say except for thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to click on the link down below or at the end of the video to stay up to date on what's going on in my beauty corner of the world, and also leave me a comment letting me know what's going on in your beauty corner of the world. I would really like to know if somebody other than myself had a horrible experience trying to order and then actually get the palette to me once I had successfully ordered it, because I feel like I'm the only one. I feel like everybody else has had their palettes forever except for me. So let me know how long it took you to get your palette, and also leave me comments letting me know if you would like to see any other actual looks using the palette too. Thanks so much for watching. Love ya.